You don't like my mother, so you can't see the truth, said my dad angrily. The truth, said my mom. I'll tell you the truth, Philippe. Your mother, blah, 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 blah. I went to my room. I didn't want to hear the fight between my parents. But is my mom right? Did Grand-mère tell Carol Fernandez, the newspaper reporter, about me? Thursday, October 16th. This morning, my picture was on the covers of the Daily News newspaper and the magazine New York Newsday. The picture was also in the New York Times. There were many more reporters waiting for me outside school today. Lars, my bodyguard and driver, held my arm and we ran into school together. As we ran, the reporters were shouting questions. Amelia, who do you like best? Leonardo DiCaprio or Prince William? Princess Amelia, why don't you eat meat? Afternoon. Something very surprising has happened. I was in the cafeteria with Tina and Lars and Wahim. Wahim is Tina's driver and Tina's bodyguard. So we were eating our lunch. Suddenly, Lana Weinberger put her tray down next to mine. You know, a tray is for carrying food when you are eating lunch. I'm not joking. Lana Weinberger sat beside me. Then someone else put down a tray on the table. It was Josh Richter. Hey, he said. He sat down in the seat next to me and started eating. Are you going to the school dance this weekend, Mia? Asked Lana. Josh's parents are away. After the dance, we're all going to a party at Josh's place. Will you come too? I'm sorry, I said. I can't. Lana stared at me. She looked at me. What do you mean, you can't? She said. I've heard about the seniors' parties. Everyone drinks lots of alcohol and gets very drunk. My mom won't let me go to a party like that, I said. Don't tell your mom the truth, Lana said. Say to her, I'm spending the night with a girlfriend. But I could never tell this lie to my mom. I'm sorry, I said. Everyone drinks a lot of alcohol at those parties. I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol is a poison. I don't like putting poison into my body. I can understand that, said Josh Richter suddenly. Josh, said Lana, laughing, you drink more than anyone in the whole school. Josh didn't laugh. He just stared at Lana with his blue eyes. It wasn't a very nice stare. It seems Josh is angry. Late afternoon, when classes finished, Josh was waiting outside my classroom. "Hey," he said. Then he smiled. It was a big smile that showed all his teeth. They were very white. "Are you going to the dance with anyone?" he asked. I dropped my book in surprise. I dropped my book in surprise. I bent down to pick it up. "No," I said in a weak voice. "Oh, well, I'll see you," said Josh. Then he left. I'm still shocked. Josh Richter talked to me today twice. Evening. This evening, Grand-mère wanted to have dinner at an expensive restaurant. She wanted us to go outside the Plaza Hotel for a meal. "There will be reporters outside," she said. "I'll teach you what to do." But when we came out of the hotel, the reporters weren't there. "Wait 1 minute," said Grand-mère. She went back into the hotel. I got into the car. She came out of the hotel again a little later. When we arrived at the restaurant, lots of reporters were waiting. I was very surprised. Immediately, they started taking photos and shouting questions. I turned and looked at Grand-mère. "You called these reporters, didn't you? You told them about our plan to eat here. Did you tell Carol Fernandez about me too? Did you give her my story for her newspaper?" "Of course," said Grand-mère. "You have to learn how to live with reporters, Amelia. It's part of being a princess." Here's a picture of Grand-mère with Mia, and around her are news reporters or paparazzi. Dad and Mom had a big fight about the report in the New York Post, I said. But Mr. Giannini didn't talk to Carol Fernandez, did he? You did. I'm going to tell Dad the truth. He's going to be really mad, angry at you, Grand-mère. "No, he won't be mad," she said. "That story in the New York Post newspaper was only the beginning. Soon you'll be on the cover of Vogue magazine. And then—" "Grand-mère," I shouted, "I don't want to be on the cover of Vogue." When I got home, I called my dad. "Dad, Grand-mère told Carol Fernandez everything about me," I said. "It wasn't Mr. Giannini." "I know," he said in an unhappy voice. "Well," I said, "you have to apologize to Mom. You have to say sorry to Mom." Later, My dad called my mom. Afterwards, she looked very happy. Maybe my dad apologized to her. Chapter 10. My first date. Friday, October 17th. Josh and Lana have broken up. They are not boyfriend and girlfriend anymore. They have stopped dating. They have broken up. I can't believe this. Josh has ended his relationship with Lana. He doesn't want her as his girlfriend anymore. Everyone in school is talking about it. When I saw Lana, she looked awful. Her eyes were red. She had been crying. After the first lesson is usually around 8:30, so this might be 9:30 in the morning. After the first lesson, Josh Richter came up to me after my English class. Hey, Mia, who are you going with to the dance tomorrow? He asked. No one, I replied. Well, why don't we go together? He said. I, I couldn't speak for a minute. Josh Richter and me on a date. Then I heard a tiny voice inside my head. He's only asking you because you're the Princess of Genovia. But I didn't want to listen to the voice. Yeah, okay, I said. That might be fun. Fine, said Josh. I'll come for you at 7 o'clock. I'll pick you up at 7 o'clock. We'll go to a restaurant, Tavern on the Green, and have dinner first. Tavern on the Green is a very famous restaurant in the middle of Central Park. Late morning. I'm going to the dance with Josh, and Lily has found out. Lily knows. Now she's speaking to me again. But she only says bad things about Josh. He's just broken up with Lana, she said. He broke up with her 16 hours ago. Then this afternoon he asks you out. He's bad, Mia, and he takes drugs. Some of Josh's friends take drugs. They use drugs. This is true. But does Josh take drugs? Does he use drugs? I can't believe that. Lana looks so sad, and Josh doesn't seem to care. He and his friends sat with Tina and me at lunch today. But Josh and his friends didn't talk to us. They just talked to each other. I feel bad about Lana, but I still want to go to the dance with Josh. Evening. My princess class with Grand-mère ended after an hour. This is because I'm going to spend the night at Tina's place. I told Grand-mère about the dance and Josh's invitation. Grand-mère was very pleased. She was very happy. She called a famous fashion company. She made an appointment for me tomorrow. I'm going to their store to choose a new dress. After I left Grand-mère's suite, remember her beautiful room in the Plaza Hotel is called a suite. Usually a hotel room is one room. A suite is 3 rooms or 4 rooms of a hotel, so it's extra large. After I left Grand-mère's suite, I went to Tina's huge, luxury, rich apartment. Luxury means with everything new and expensive things. Tina has 3 little sisters and a baby brother, young brother. She also has a big TV in her room and a Sony PlayStation. Tina's parents are really nice. Mr. Hakim Baba isn't well. If you aren't well, it means you are a little sick. He has a problem with his heart. He can't eat meat. He only eats vegetables and rice. Mrs. Hakim Baba is very beautiful. She's British and has blonde hair. She used to be a fashion model. Her picture was once on the cover of Vogue, but she doesn't work now. Tina showed me her dress for the dance. Remember, Tina is going to the dance with a boy from another school. It's very pretty. She looks much more like a princess than I do. Saturday, October 18th. When I arrived home, Mr. Giannini was there. Has Josh called? I asked my mom. You don't mean Josh Richter, do you? Asked Mr. Giannini. Yes, I said. I'm going to the dance with Josh tonight. But what about Lana Weinberger? Asked Mr. Giannini in a surprised voice. She is Josh's girlfriend. They broke up, I said, waiting. Who's Josh Richter? Asked my mom. Gorgeous, beautiful, handsome boy in the school, I said. He's the most gorgeous, handsome boy in the school, I said. Well, he's the most popular, said Mr. Giannini, but he isn't the right kind of boy for Mia. He's not a good boy. He's not a good person for Mia. Oh, said my mom. Then I have to talk to Mia's father. She called my dad at the Plaza Hotel. As she was speaking to him, the front door bell rang. Mr. Giannini opened the door. I'm Clarice Marie Rinaldo, the Dowager Princess of Genovia, said a loud voice. Who are you? Sorry, maybe you forgot. Dowager is another word for widow, or it means her husband, the prince, died. So it means her husband is dead. Who are you? It was Grand-mère. She had come to our apartment. She was going to take me shopping. She stared at Mr. Giannini. Grand-mère, I said, they won't let me go to the dance. My mom was still talking to my dad on the phone. Grand-mère came into the apartment and took the phone from Mom's hand. Philippe, Grand-mère said into the phone, your daughter is going to the dance tonight with her boyfriend. I'm going to buy her a new dress. I'm taking her to the store now. Then Grand-mère spoke quickly to my dad. She used some rude words. Rude means not polite. But she spoke in French, so only I understood her. My mom and Mr. Giannini didn't understand what she was saying. When Grand-mère put the phone down, when she finished talking, she looked around our apartment. The Princess of Genovia lives here? She asked. In this place? Now listen, Clarice, said my mom angrily. Well, let me explain. The grandmother said, the princess lives here? And it means that here is not a good place. The grandmother doesn't like Mia's apartment. Go and get your coat, Amelia, said Grand-mère. I went to get my coat. Then I returned to the living room. My mom's eyes were very red. Mr. Giannini was looking at the floor. Then I went shopping with Grand-mère. Mom and Mr. Giannini didn't stop me. So her mom's eyes were very red. It could be from crying, it could be she's angry, but something happened when Amelia was not in the room. It seems that the grandmother is a very strong person. Evening, 7 o'clock, and I'm waiting for Josh. I'm sitting and writing my diary. I'm wearing my new shoes. I'm wearing my new dress and my new shoes. My hair and my makeup and nails are perfect. My dress is pale blue. Pale means very light or soft. It's a very soft blue. My dress is pale blue silk, and it's beautiful. My dad is sitting at the kitchen table. My mom keeps looking at the clock. You can go out with Josh, said my dad, but Lars has to go with you. Remember, Lars is the driver and Mia's bodyguard. My dad looked at his watch. It's 7:15, he said. Josh Richter is late. The front door bell has just rung. Bing bong, bing bong. Josh is here,